Hey guys, it's Brooke. Welcome back to my channel, or if you've never been here before, welcome to my channel. I hope you stay. If you guys are confused why I'm posting on a Wednesday, it's because you missed my last two videos where I said that I'm going to be posting on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays now. So yay, hi, this is my first Wednesday video. I'm excited, let's get right into it. So for today's video, I'm going to be sharing with you guys some conspiracy theories about kids shows and movies that messed up my brain. So now I'm gonna mess up your guys' brains too, so I am not the only one. Just a quick disclaimer before we start, none of these are factual, and I'm not trying to shade any of these Disney movies or movies in general and shows. These are just some theories that I found online that I thought were really interesting and wanted to share them with you guys. Alright, let's get into the video. So my first conspiracy theory has to do with the Powerpuff Girls. So people believe that the Powerpuff Girls, Blossom, Buttercup, and Bubbles, are actually all just one girl, and they are just three different personalities of the same girl who has mixed personality disorder. And they say that she developed this mixed multiple personality disorder through being bullied from her brother. We don't know about any brother in the show, the Powerpuff Girls, but they say that she hallucinates her brother as the evil arch nemesis Mojo Jojo, who is that black monkey. This theory can kind of make sense because Professor Utonium is the three girls' father, and he also created Mojo Jojo, who is their enemy and evil, kind of making them related in a way. So the theory claims that Mojo Jojo is actually this girl's brother. They also say that these three girls are their different personalities because Bubbles is super happy, upbeat, kind of naive, and she's just like sweet and like, I don't know, bubbly, no pun intended. And then there's Blossom, who's like smart and stable and sturdy. She knows what she's doing. She's like the smart personality who the girl wants to be. And then there is Buttercup, who is kind of like the bad girl, the evil one who's like bad, she's reckless, she's violent, she speaks violently and aggressively, and that's like the hatred towards her brother and the bullying from her brother, Mojo Jojo. So that is one conspiracy theory. The next conspiracy theory has to do with Courage the Cowardly Dog. Me and my sister used to watch this show all the time, and there was always just something weird about that show that we just loved. But this theory actually claims that Courage the Cowardly Dog is just a normal dog. The villains he sees are just normal people, and to a small dog, they may seem like evil villains and scary people because he's so tiny and they're so big. It also says that he doesn't actually live in the middle of nowhere. Because his owners are so old, they don't get to take him out to a lot of places. So in his little puppy mind, he thinks that his own property is like the only property, and he thinks that he just lives alone and that there's no one else around him. So the theory is claiming that Courage doesn't actually have all these weird crazy things happen to him, that he's actually just living a completely normal life, just seeing things through a dog's eyes. This next one is kind of dark and has to do with the Holocaust and Toy Story 3. So if you're kind of triggered by this somehow, just click off the video. So Toy Story 3 is said to be an allegory of the Holocaust. They say that the Jewish victims are represented by the toys, and that the Jewish people being left by their nation with the onset of World War II is represented by the toys being left by Andy to go to college. The toys' leader Woody suggests for them to hide in the attic, which kind of references Anne Frank hiding in the attic. But they get found and shipped off to Sunnyside Daycare, where their kind is concentrated and mistreated by kids, like how the Nazis mistreated the Jewish people. There are also some abusive toys at this Sunnyside Daycare, which the theory claims represents the Jewish police who were on the side of the Nazis and would be abusive towards the Jewish people. And there's a part where the toys are on a conveyor belt leading to their death, and the toy aliens come to save them, which represents the Allies. So that one is really freaky. There are a lot of parallels drawn between the Holocaust and Toy Story 3. I only named a few, but yeah, that one was really creepy and dark. The next one's not as dark. It has to do with SpongeBob SquarePants. So this theory claims that Bikini Bottom is actually located at the bottom of Bikini Atoll in the Marshall Islands, where over 20 nuclear bombs were detonated, including bombs being detonated underwater. This explains why the characters are kind of mutated in a way. SpongeBob the talking sponge living in a pineapple, Sandy being able to live underwater. Kind of makes you think maybe they are radioactive mutants from this nuclear testing of bombs happening, and that's where this whole idea of SpongeBob came from. The next theory, again, is really dark and really sad, but I can't lie, I have thought about this my entire childhood, and seeing somebody else also thinking the same thing too actually just made me want to talk about it and see if I'm the only one who thinks this. There is a theory that Caillou is actually eternally ill with cancer. Obviously this theory came about because Caillou is bald and he's only 4 years old, and people claim that it's actually near impossible to be completely bald like that when you're so young, like before you hit puberty. And they also say obviously the parents aren't shaving his head, and if they did there would still be a little stubble there. Like, it just seems like Caillou does have some illness where he has hair loss and doesn't have hair. It might also explain why when Caillou throws tantrums and stuff, his parents are so forgiving towards him. Maybe because they know that he has cancer and that maybe he doesn't have long to live or something. It's just a theory. I am not claiming this is true. It is just a theory that was put out there. It also says that his sister, who has orange hair, maybe was adopted by the parents who both have brown hair because they were scared to have another baby knowing that it could possibly have cancer. Alright, on to not so heavy topics. This next conspiracy theory has to do with Phineas and Ferb. So the theory goes that Dr. Doofenshmirtz actually is the father of Candace and Phineas. The reason people believe this is because Phineas or Ferb, wait, which one's the one with the triangle head? Ferb? Phineas? I think that's Phineas. Alright, well, the triangle-headed boy also has the same shaped head as Dr. Doofenshmirtz, so they believe that he could be his child. They're also both really into inventing things, so it makes sense that maybe he's actually their father. Also, to throw in there, it would make kind of sense because maybe he was married to Phineas and Ferb's mom, had Ferb, or Phineas, whichever, and Candace, and then they got divorced, and that's why he's so intent on getting Perry the platypus, because maybe he was left with nothing after the divorce, so he wants to capture the platypus, Perry, to have at least one thing. Maybe he loved the animal at one point and just wants to capture it to get back at the ex-wife or something. I don't know. And the final conspiracy for today's video is that Jane from Tarzan is actually the child of Belle and the Beast. This one could kind of be a thing, okay? Because Jane looks just like the Beast and Belle if they were to have a daughter. She has that yellow dress, she has the same sort of hair as Belle. They kind of just look similar, so she could totally be their daughter. Also, she has this, I don't know if I would call it a power, but ability to talk to Tarzan, who is this beast-like figure. He doesn't really speak normal English at first. He's kind of like this gorilla type of man raised by gorillas or whatever he was raised by, and he's just like ape-like, he's beast-like, and she's able to talk to him and communicate with him, just like how Belle was able to communicate with the Beast, who was a beast and nobody else could communicate with him besides for like the teapot and all of that stuff. Alright, so those are my conspiracy theories for today's video. I hope you guys enjoyed them. If you guys want more conspiracy theories like this, please leave this video a thumbs up. Also, make sure you guys subscribe to this channel and my main channel down below in the description. I linked it there. And don't forget, if you guys want to be featured in my video as the Bee of the Week on Monday, make sure you guys go spam me on my Instagram and Twitter, which are also linked in the description below, and I will shout you out on Monday's video. Alrighty, thank you guys so much for watching again. I love you, love you, love you, and I will see you on Friday.